Now, before we start the video today, I would humbly like to take a few moments out of our day to honor the acknowledgement of the two greatest tag team wrestlers WWE ever had and never knew what to do with them, the Ascension. Thank you. What's up, everybody? Your boy here, Apollo from DownDownUpUp. It is a Saturday morning where I am right now, Saturday, December the 14th. Hope everybody enjoyed Friday the 13th. I know I did. Haha, even amongst the Christmas time, you still have to acknowledge that danger might be coming. Moving on, though, why am I here right now? Well, it's time to discuss the possibility of what's to happen during WWE's last pay-per-view of 2019, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. What do we have lined up? Well, doesn't look like quite the mediocre card. There definitely will be quality over quantity. As of right now, we have 7 matches planned. I've waited just about as long as I can to do this. Now that SmackDown is on Friday, I like to wait until as soon as possible, which is why hopefully this video will be out for you people on Saturday. So, let's see what the lineup is and see what we can make out of this. Here we go. Now, the first match up for grabs was not really even announced on television, to my knowledge. I believe it was announced during WWE Backstage or just exclusive on YouTube. The Viking Raiders, the Raw Tag Team Champions, want to do another open challenge. They had one on Raw. The Street Profits accepted. They got crushed, but good effort. Decent 5-minute match. Raiders are doing another one at TLC. Who's going to step up to the plate? Well, we don't know yet, so I might as well guess. There's options. There could be another Street Profit match. It could be a team from a different brand, like the Undisputed Era. I'm taking all ideas into account. It could be the Usos. Still don't know really what happened to them. And you know me. Sometimes I'm too lazy to search, and I like to wait and hear things. So, who's it going to be? My pick is going to be very dull and blunt with you all, to be honest. I think it will be Gallows and Anderson, the OC, best tag team in the world. The Raiders never really got their win back from them at that tag team turmoil, and they kind of teased it on Raw. They're planning to do this again at some point when AJ was ranting on. Same with Gallows and Anderson in the back about how the Raiders are not real champions, yada, yada, yada. We want our titles back, yada, yada, yada. We're going to challenge you, yada, yada, yada. So, OC would be a simple choice here, but as far as winning the titles, especially without AJ as United States champion, I don't see it happening. The Raiders are keeping the championships and moving on. Still not really enjoying them as much as I wish I could be, because every other week they're usually just doing squash matches. This is what we're doing with our Raw Tag Team Champions. Complete opposite to the New Day, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They're thrown into every shuffle possible, and it's great. Raiders need to step it up on the storytelling-wise. Wrestling-wise, they're still great, though. They're wonderful. And that's why I think they're going to stay the Raw Tag Team Champions. Moving on. Now, I've looked at the card, and I noticed one thing. We do not have a scheduled chairs match. Now, not every TLC in history has always had one of every single match, but usually that's the format I like. We have one TLC match. We have a ladder match. We have a tables match. We have a chairs match, but this year we don't have a chairs match, but we have all the others. So will we get a last-minute announced one? Well, possibly. Like I said, there's only 7 matches announced, so probably more will come through. Unfortunately, they are stubborn to release, and I need to get this out to you people so we can confer. So, which match might be the chairs match of the matches on the scheduled card for now? Frankly, as my voice is beginning to fail on me already, I'll give you my opinion. I think Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy would gain a huge advantage if their match turned into a chairs match. No, I know a lot of people might already be screaming at me, Paul, what are you talking about? This is going to be the one match on the card that doesn't need a gimmick to get over. And that's true. And I agree that the chairs match hasn't always been the best, but handed to 2 people who know what they're doing and use kicks and knees in their offense. Kind of something I want to see with steel chairs thrown in the midst. Does anyone remember Aleister Black's, I think it was an Extreme Rules or / street fight at TakeOver I think TakeOver Philadelphia with Adam Cole at the beginning of 2018, that was amazing, and steel chairs made it better. I'd love to see somehow that energy thrown into this, but most likely won't happen. So let's discuss the principle of it without the chairs. Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy have been bickering with each other for the past month-ish now, maybe a little bit over, ever since Murphy cockily or arrogantly knocked on Aleister Black's door. So bringing both of them back in the shuffle, though. It's nice to see them have regular matches on the show. Black's match with Tozawa was okay. He had another one, I think, with Tony Nese. Like, these matches could be 1,000 times better, but I'm glad we're at least having him wrestle. And same with Murphy. Murphy had an amazing match with Tozawa a few weeks ago. It was my favorite on the show. And he just had another decent one with Matt Hardy. So, what are we going to get out of this? So, I think, personally, as much as I love Murphy and how he's just grown to be the star on the shows that he's on, Black is not quite ready to lose yet. And when I say lose yet, think about it. Has he been pinned since coming to the main roster? I think he's only lost in tag team matches where he hasn't been pinned. Aleister Black will most likely be getting the win here. We move on, see who else we can throw in the shuffle before throwing Black into something much bigger. Murphy can stay just as relevant as he is now. There's no reason to cut any of his momentum off, but it should be a great match. I'm picking Aleister Black for the win. Moving on. Might as well talk about the tables match. So this whole Lana, Rusev, Lashley feud has been probably the most hated feud right now from the people, but from what I've heard, the most beloved feud inside the system when it comes to the boss. So what does that mean for TLC? Well, we had the whole divorce signing on Raw, which ended up with Rusev putting Lashley through a table, and this match was later announced to be a tables match. The feud's not going to end, is it? And Rusev already put Lashley through a table, so I'm going with 50-50 booking, common logic. I'm going with Lashley to win this match with Lana interference. The feud continues possibly until WrestleMania from what I'm hearing, and at this point, I really wouldn't be surprised. But we have to look at the good side of things, so bear with me. Here's the good side of it. I get to see Rusev every week. Is that so bad? That I missed him so much when he left again earlier this year. It's Rusev. Rusev's one of the best things in WWE right now, and his new face role is hilarious. You should have, if you skipped through the divorce court or whatever they called it, he was hilarious. His comments were hilarious. His shirt was hilarious. I hope that's a new gimmick. Come out with another cute, fun shirt every week. Rusev, you're great. And I'm really enjoying seeing you a lot. So if there's one good side of this feud, I get to see Rusev a lot, and he makes me smile. So there it is. But I do think Lashley's going to pick up the win, and the feud will continue. So let's move on from that. Next up, SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. A match I was so annoyed with when it was announced, because we had that Fatal 4-Way Elimination tag to see who would be facing New Day at TLC. The last team in my head was Revival. We've done this so many times already. How about some fresh blood? Heavy Machinery, they're great, and they are over right now. They are over, no doubt. And it's not just because of Otis. Tucker is a decent enough wrestler who's actually trying to improve every week. Otis is hilarious. He's got his set moveset, and I don't think he needs to improve unless he wants to. Those two are ready to become tag team champions, and I'm not joking. Even Ali and Gable, they have some potential to do some fun things. A match with the New Day would have solved that. And as much as I really don't want to say it, I would have taken Lucha House Party over the Revival just because it would have been something different. But the Revival won, and I was disappointed. But then this week on SmackDown, my chin was picked up because we got a stipulation. A ladder match. This is a simple thing to add that will make me happy. Because if I've seen something for 642 times, I like a stipulation thrown into the new match that they plan to do. So, this is going to be great, and before a lot of people can say that the best wrestling match would have been Black and Murphy, maybe best one-on-one, but if we're talking about overall night, I want to give it to this one, maybe even over the women's TLC tag. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see what they can do. I am picking the New Day. I still don't see a purpose to the Revival winning and getting the titles back. New Day are still trying to bounce back after the loss of Xavier Woods. Kofi Kingston is still trying to be like pushed as a champion right now, even though he's not WWE champion anymore. But they mentioned a lot of it on SmackDown, so clearly the idea that to make everyone forget has not been enforced much. But I'm picking the New Day. I just don't see the point of the Revival winning this match. New Day for the win. Maybe the Revival get it back next year. We'll see. Moving on. Let's talk about the TLC match, not the women's, the other one. The one that most likely will end by pinfall or submission. Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin. Oh, this feud has been just, oh, so cringy. After Reigns got covered in dog food last week, that was nasty. Just nasty, man. So what's to come out of this? Well, an easy prediction is Roman Reigns, but what if Baron Corbin wins and the feud continues? That's the thing. Even though, in my opinion, Reigns could win and the feud could still continue, and I don't really think anyone wants to see the feud continue, in my opinion, Reigns is still a front runner for winning next year's Royal Rumble. He hasn't received a World Championship match since coming back from his leukemia. So I'm going to pick Roman Reigns. If Baron Corbin should win, I hope it's by the means of a big interference spot with a return. I would guess Sheamus, but Sheamus seems to have his mind set on the weaklings like Ali and Shorty G. So if that's how we're going to start building him again, I'll just be happy to see him. If he gets thrown into an angle like this, then great, because I love Sheamus. Sheamus has always been one of my favorite guys. And if it's Shane McMahon that returns and helps Baron Corbin wins, I can say I'm right, because I've been thinking that for weeks now. Moving on, but my pick is still Reigns if there's no high-profile return spot. Moving on. We don't have much left, do we? I guess we got two left. Two left. Let's go. The Miz taking on Bray Wyatt. Not the Fiend. Not the Fiend, and not for the Universal Championship. But Bray Wyatt. Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. This feud has been very interesting, but very fun at the same time. Ever since Bray's been taunting Miz with pictures of his family, supposedly messing around with his little girl, Monroe, and leaving a strange little doll with the Fiend's face paint on it, or just face paint that looks like the Fiend. I don't know. It looked weird, and you should go look at it too. I don't know if that's going to play a part later down the line, that maybe this doll is the one that comes alive and a person portrays it. It just gives you ideas, right? We always have these lovely ideas that we'd love to see come to life in WWE, and sometimes they do, and I'd love this to be one of them. Regardless, I don't see the point in this having some kind of meaning for the championship down the line. It should be Bray Wyatt who wins. If there is a screwy finish, it should only be when Daniel Bryan comes back. Because we haven't seen him on SmackDown. We don't know what the fate of him is. He could now be part of Bray Wyatt's new stable, if we call it a stable, with the puppets. I don't know. I don't know what the fate of Bryan is. I can't pick Miz because that's too much of a gamble on my part. Even by DQ, I don't feel confident enough. I'm picking Bray Wyatt. So we'll see what happens. This is a match I'm going to skim through quickly in the predictions, but I'm hoping we get a lot of storyline development out of it, and we'll see what happens. Maybe if Bryan returns, we get another Bryan Fiend Universal Championship match that night. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how this is going to go and how Bryan is going to be portrayed returning to the WWE. But let's move on to the last match, and hopefully will be the main event. It is the Women's Tag Team Championship match up for grabs in a TLC match. Asuka and Kairi Sane Kabuki Warriors finally got a real theme, taking on Charlotte and the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. This hasn't been too big of a surprise. It looked like they were going to be building to something like this in general, with the attacks, the mist, and Charlotte and Becky just getting really annoyed by these two. So we're going to do it in a TLC match. Simple enough. Who's got the edge in this? Because I look at this from both sides, and I honestly think as ridiculous as it sounds, WWE still love the odd couple tag team championship routine. And Charlotte and Becky are due. They are owed one. Not just tag team title wise, but TLC against Asuka wise. Remember last year, Ronda Rousey interfered in the main event, Asuka versus Charlotte versus Becky, and helped Asuka win the championship? I think Becky and Charlotte need some redemption from that. Why I think it's going to be the main event, and why I think Becky Two Belts is back. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair will win the Women's Tag Team Championships together. It's going to be weird, but it may not last that long. Asuka and Kairi Sane have gotten the attention they needed, and they should get the titles back. They should. But winning this match doesn't really do so much to my eye. I think it would be better off with Charlotte and Becky winning. If it's the main event, send the crowd home happy. Becky is still over as possible. And keep Shayna Baszler away for now. Because my head and planning for Baszler versus Becky does not start until next year, possibly at the Royal Rumble. But we'll see what happens. Unless, and here's just one more thing, if Baszler interferes in this and costs Becky and Charlotte, and Becky interferes in NXT and costs Shayna her women's championship match with Rhea Ripley, then things really hit the griddle, don't they? But I don't see all of that happening in the span of less than a week. So I'm not picking interference. I'm picking Charlotte and Becky to become new women's tag team champions. And that's it. That's it for now. I don't know if anything else is going to be lately announced, but I've covered what I can. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you all are looking forward to at TLC this Sunday, last pay-per-view of the year. I cannot wait to see you on Monday for my results and review video. Hopefully a fun show leaves us happy, and we can enjoy the Christmas holidays knowing that they are not doing a wrestling show live on Christmas, because that was really dumb. Have a good day, everyone. Keep it real. I'll see you on Monday.